What's up, big backyard people? It is time for our spring, how could it be spring already, 2026 orchard tour. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. I'm gonna have all sorts of disclaimers. I'll only be self-conscious a little bit about things that are happening in the orchard. But if you've been with us since day one on this channel, this might be your third year to run through the orchard with us. We're right at the beginning of year 3 on the channel, and it's not an orchard channel necessarily, it's a big backyard channel, but you seem to want the orchard content, so we're gonna keep bringing you orchard content. So here's what's happening in spring right now. If you were with us for the January winter update, you saw that there's a lot of new trees in the orchard. And I'm not gonna lie, I judge a little bit when I'm on YouTube and I'm watching other people's orchard videos, and I always think, are all the orchards brand new? Has anyone got maturity? We've got some maturity, I'll show it to you, but we do have quite a bit of brand new. So this year, everything is looking better than it's looked in years. So some of that's weather, some of that is the amount of work I did out here late fall and winter, but I'm not gonna take much of the credit. I think a lot of it has been our weather. So this is our 3-in-1 Asian pear. It never does super well. I think I've lost one of the varieties completely, but we got some good looking pears on the tree already. I think we'll get decent production out of these this year. Hopefully some of these will make it all the way to late summer and give us some good, soft, juicy, sweet pears, because our Kiefers always do well, but they're hard. So I think I showed you elderberry in the winter update. If not, here's elderberry. You gotta have more than one variety of elderberry to do really well, and I have 2 of the same variety. So I'm just trying to get some growth and some stem expansion this year. I don't think we're gonna be utilizing or processing much elderberry this calendar year, but it takes time in the orchard. It's a patience game. And we've planted some more herbs and understory stuff in the orchard this year than we have. So there's some Italian oregano here and a couple other things. We got some wild onion. I didn't do that. We just get lucky on this property. In this part of town, there's a lot of wild onion. So we let that stuff grow, especially early in the year. Over here, we lost a peach last year, and I didn't find the service berry tree that I wanted for it. So I've got some tomato going here, and I'm just gonna let these things go crazy and go wild over here because I have the drip irrigation on it, and I'm gonna let these go big. And if I need to trellis some more, I don't cut these back at all. We'll just see what happens back here. But I bet with all this western sun exposure we get here and early shade, we'll do really, really well with these. Figs are going crazy. Lots of little bitty figs coming on. Brown turkey fig, this should do really, really well this year. This is as big as this tree's ever been. That sounds pretty logical for a tree, gets bigger every year. But a couple years ago, these died back all the way to the ground in a freeze, which can happen in North Texas with figs. Don't worry about it. They'll come all the way back as long as the roots are established. And these are very well established. And you can just see that we're gonna have thousands of figs on this guy. Just this one, and we've got a bunch of them. Here's another one, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna have figs on figs on figs, and we're gonna be generous with them because our family only eats them a little bit, but I'm gonna try to talk the crew into making some jams and stuff this year. Brand new airs. We have some new pears and some new plums. Obviously, we're not gonna get any fruit on this tree this year, so we're just babying these, trying to give them the appropriate amount of water, let them sleep a little bit, let those roots get established, and hopefully in a couple of years on an orchard tour, you'll see a bunch of fruit on this guy. This is one of the only ones I'm not so sure about. We definitely lost a Dorset golden apple tree, but it was my 3rd one, so I'm not too sad about it. I'll show you what we did in that spot. This one's a Warren, and I don't think it's gonna make it. I really think we've lost it, but every time I come in here and scratch this trunk, it's still got some life. So I think I'm gonna potentially, too late in the year, normally I would not do this late. I think I may top this guy and just see if we get some side growth later. Let me know in the comments if you know more about this one, if you recommend what I should do. But I've got no new growth. I had some rootstock growth and I cut that back, but it looks like these guys are starting to kind of die back from the tips, and I wanna get ahead of that and see if I can save it. So that one's a Warren pear. Let me know what I should do if you know better than me. I'm still learning that one. You can see where we transplanted some raspberries in the understory. We also have some dynamic accumulators, nitrogen fixers, walking onions, thyme, oregano. So hopefully we're gonna be really good on some chop and drop and lots of other benefits. This one's a jujube. This one's a lang, and I have a Lee over here. I've wanted to plant these for years. I'm new to them. I'm seeing a lot of little buds come on, but I'm gonna let it do its thing this year. If we see any fruit, I'm gonna pinch them off. That's so terrible, but you gotta do it. So A lot of new growth since I put this in. I'm really excited about these mini apple buttery date type fruits. These are my 1, 2, 3, 4 Kefir pears. They do really, really well every year. You can come over here and I'll show you where we've got a bunch of pears coming on. That one's doing really, really well. That one's doing okay. This one's not as productive this year as normal, but we'll still have hundreds of pears on this guy. And I'm thinning, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all right here. So that's too many. So we'll come in 10, 11, 12, and we'll thin some of that out. Keep the healthiest, biggest looking ones. Lots of new growth on this tree as well this year. So 4 of these have really been the anchor of this orchard for a long time. Productive every single year, like just almost don't even think about it. Here we have pomegranate. We talked about this in January, but I don't think we were flowering yet, obviously. Not every one of these flowers will be a fruit, but I've never gotten fruit from this one. So I'm very excited this year. I hard pruned it, I've babied it, and I think we should be getting some really good fruit on this. And I'm pretty confident all the kids like pomegranate, at least the seeds. So we're super excited about that this year. More figs going crazy, just every single one of them, tons and tons, hundreds if not thousands of figs. This is a Bruce plum. Obviously, this is a new one for us here too. So same as the others, we're gonna baby it, let this thing get established, and hopefully in a couple of years, I'm showing you tons of plums there. Arkansas black apple, early, babying it, letting it sleep, feeding it, nurturing it, saying sweet things to it at night when no one's looking. So that one will be in really good shape in a couple of years too. Maybe more like 3 or 4 here. Figs blowing up. These crepe myrtles are growing a lot. They provide a little bit of shade, and then when they flower, they bring in the pollinators as well. All of this is wild onion, and it will die back when we get to crazy heat, but we love it. It repels some pests. A lot of the pests that like to come and steal our fruit and climb on these trees don't like onion. So this wild onion under the ground is like a chive, and on the seed head have little bitty onion pods. If we could get the smell through to you, you could smell it. But a lot of that going on. That's just kind of a God thing. That's a free gift. This is another pomegranate, but brand new. And so I planted 2 more this year when I saw that one still had some life in it. So that could be super fun. This is that Honeycrisp apple. I tell you about in every update that I know better, but I did it anyway. Because when you have a bigger yard, you can experiment, you can gamble a little bit. This thing will probably never put on apples, but if we had a really cold year, I'm gonna be telling you all about my Honeycrisp apple. And I love to eat a Honeycrisp. This is that other jujube. I already talked about it, so I won't say too much more, but there's a Lang and a Lee. So we're babying these. Really excited. Hopefully that's gonna work out well. If you've been around the channel long, you know this is my baby. This is my favorite orchard tree so far. We've planted some Society garlic and walking onion underneath it, some raspberries on the backside. Not as productive as last year. Apple trees tend to do that. They kind of do a big push one year where they push a lot of their energy to fruit production, and the following year they push that energy back into new stem growth. We pruned this one really hard, but you can see we've got some good apples coming on the tree. Decent size. So we'll thin these a little bit this year. It's naturally thin. Like I said, it's not putting on quite as much fruit this year, but we'll still thin it a little bit in hopes that the 40 or 50 that we'll probably try to keep will be really good. This is a Dorset Golden, so they don't get sweet till later, really to the fall, but they're good looking green apples that will get a little red pink blush on them late in the season, and we're excited about that. This is where I planted another one of those, and it didn't really make it at all. So I took it out and I've put 2 Fall Gold raspberry plants in here. Fall Gold is obviously a fall producing raspberry, but they're golden. If you've never had a golden, yellow, almost clear, peachy looking sometimes raspberry, man, are they sweet and delicious, and my kids will borderline fight over them. So I'm excited about those. I also put another one over in the vegetable garden. This is another new plum. We had a plum here that did really well and then died last year. This one's a Methley, a little bit more popular for our area. Should do really, really well, and is doing really, really well from the bare root that we put in 6 or 7 weeks ago. So that's doing really well. This is a Pink Lady apple. I've never had a Pink Lady apple. It was recommended by a really well-regarded local nursery, so I'm hopeful that this one on the edge gets about as much sun as anything in our orchard does. Early, mid, and almost all of the afternoon sun with a little protection from the cottonwood. So I'm excited and optimistic about that one. Raspberry and blackberry here, putting on tons of flowers, putting on tons of berries. We're not ripening quite yet, but this one's looking really good. So much so that as these tips are laying down, if they find any soil, they're regrowing. So this is a big old ant bed that I wanted to get rid of, but I didn't because we got blackberry hitting it in 2 new plants, 2 new vines coming out of it. So this thing's gonna be allowed to take over a very large area, and hopefully we'll have a really productive berry season here. This is the other new Dorset Golden, just like the big boy. I'm letting it lean a little bit right now, letting it naturally grow the way it wants to grow. We'll stake it if we need to, but this one's doing very, very well. That's how I knew how badly the other one was doing. So we went ahead and pulled that one up. This one's doing really well. I expect very, very good things. And as an orchard bonus, we've put muscadines on this trellis. And I think as soon as we get our next chip drop of free wood chips, I'm gonna just extend the orchard all the way there so we benefit from retaining that moisture in the ground and that moisture, but the muscadines are looking good. I didn't give you the full rundown on everything we've planted in the understory this year. I've done a little bit better job underneath these trees to have full kind of food forest, top layer, vining layer, ground cover layer, and try to add some of those shrub layers as well. But we've got a bunch of herbs, spices, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries underneath these things, and we're looking to do a little bit more of that in the fall for next year as well. So that's the update. If you were thinking you'd like to have a bigger backyard, you'd like to have the space on your home property to have an orchard, maybe this size, maybe bigger, maybe even a little bit smaller. That's what we do. I love to help people acquire, and when they need to, sell properties like this to people that will appreciate it, use it, and love it the way you did. So reach out. My information's below this video or wherever you're finding this, and you can meet with me or one of the specialists on our team to help you create your version of this as well. Every time I give you a tour in the video, I feel like it's not there yet. There's still a little grass in the orchard. Some things died. That's the way this works. That's part of the journey and the fun and the joy of having something like this at your home. I'd love to help you do that. We'll get out and get in touch with you. Also comment in the bottom of this video in the comment section. What are you growing? What do you know about one of these plants? Give me a warning. What are you seeing? And also, how can we help you choose the right varieties, the right property, the right timing to enjoy some fruit or vegetables in your backyard as well. I'll talk to you on the next one.